What's up, beautiful Rest friends? I hope that you guys are all doing great. Happy Friday or happy whatever day you're listening to this is. I'm Meridian Fierro. I'm one of your Rest friends, and I'm joined by my beautiful, wonderful, amazing
Stop.
co-host, Rest friend Teddy. How are you, Rest friend? Good morning.
Hi, Rest Friends. I'm good. How are you, Rest Friend?
I'm doing so good. I missed you. We have not chatted about wrestling in like a hot minute, so I'm glad that we're able to do that today. And we have so much to cover, Rest friend.
Yes, we sure do.
Starting with the very first image that I have on here, Drew Galloway is all elite, Rest friend. When I found this on Twitter, I tell you, I'm like, all right, I'm logging
I,
off. This
when
is too much.
when I saw it on here, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? What happened overnight?
You're like, is this an exclusive? What is going? It's genuinely insane. So we know that CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the championship at Clash of the Castle, which way to go, CM Punk, on continuing to piss me off. Like,
Oh my God, exactly. Okay, real quick. Yesterday at the gym, actually, I feel like every time I go to the gym now, there's always at least one CM Punk t-shirt in there. And I'm like, oh my God, this place is full of CM Punk fans.
couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
Exactly. That's exactly what was in my head. I was like, I could never.
What is the phrase? Is like, if that person has no haters, I'm dead. Like,
Yes, exactly. If CM Punk has no haters, we're dead.
yeah. I mean, I feel like people are going to be like, well, you guys are from Chicago. CM Punk is also from Chicago. Okay.
No, he's not.
You can have beef with people within Chicago. Like, I'm dead.
Exactly. I mean,
It's
what can we say, restaurant?
I know we literally can't say so much. But on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins came back. Amazing way to
Yeah.
start off the show. We've missed Rollins. He was out with an injury and he came back pretty quick. So I'm hoping that he's like fully okay and that nothing is like truly wrong, right? Because he just got back.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you, restaurant.
And the fact that Drew McIntyre, after CM Punk cost him that championship, came out and was like, all right, screw this company. I quit. And he walked off. I was shook, best friend.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't know what to do, what was happening. I was confused. I'm like, wait, I thought he signed a contract. You know, in my mind, I was like going through like, okay, what have I seen on Twitter? Like, what's been going on? I'm trying to process everything. And then I see this goddamn somebody made this all elite logo, and I said, all right, this is enough for me.
Yeah, I don't remember what Sergio was doing that he wasn't with me while I was watching it, but I was cooking and watching at the same time. And I'm like, when he came back home, I'm like, I'm not 100% sure if that was real or not. I'm like, but Drew McIntyre just walked out and he said, like, fuck this. I forgot what he said. And then they come back from commercials and then obviously they're talking, like it's a storyline. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, he didn't actually
He didn't actually leave. Yeah.
leave, right, and walk out. Yeah, because the way they cut off the cameras too, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I would be pissed too if I was him.
Same.
In his hometown? I mean, like in his country.
And this is not the first time. Like CM Punk, I'm tired of you, sir. Tired of you.
Tired of you ruining lives.
I'm tired of him ruining my life. All right. Let's talk about something really, really cool that happened on Monday night. It was probably for me one of the greatest entrances that we've seen since The Fiend. It was so cool, so violent.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking like, I don't think they've shown this type of not violence, but like it was very gory. And I was like, very interesting that that's the direction that they're choosing to go to, and that like WWE is actually doing this because it was like a lot of blood. It was people like laid out on the floor. Chad Gable, which I don't think Uncle Howdy had anything to do with Chad Gable. I honestly think that was Otis, but it looked like somebody like had shot him. It was genuinely insane. I was like, oh my God, can we show this? It was like blood splattered on the walls.
Yeah.
I was like, this is genuinely insane. But let's talk about the Wyatt Six, I believe that they're called. Uncle Howdy made his debut. Rest friend, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, okay, so I've been watching WWE a little bit more now.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was going to be revealed or that he was going to come out until you mentioned it that day. And I was like, well, I told Sergio, I'm like, oh, we got to watch Raw tonight. And so I was watching it the whole time waiting. I'm like, I'm sure it's going to be like, before the show ends. And I thought it wasn't going to happen anymore because it was already going to be like 9 o'clock and nothing was happening. I was
It was
like,
only like 4 minutes left of the show, and I said, "You're 4 minutes, that's it," but it went like overtime, so
yes, yes. And Restaurant for Chills. That was very dope. That was super, super cool. I really, really enjoyed that. The new white family introduction.
I thought it was really cool, and I loved Nikki Cross.
Yes.
Thought she came out, I was like, "Oh," I was a little scared, and I was like, "Okay, this is where she really shined." I loved her when she was, like, portraying, like, a little crazy, she was given a little psychotic. I'm here for that, like, more characters. I'm gonna go down the list of, like, who is playing who, but Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross is playing, like, the Sister Abigail character. Dexter Loomis was Mercy the Buzzard, which I'm so excited that we're getting Dexter back because he totally fits into this group. I think Dexter is just such a different type of talent, and it's really I feel like we're gonna be able to see him. I loved the whole Indy Hartwell story, so I hope maybe that also gets integrated somewhere with like, oh my God, she's also in a group and he's also in a group. Not too soon, right? But like, I do
Yeah.
want love to win at the end, and I love that storyline.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Joe Gacy was in the gas mask, and then Eric Rowan was the rabbit character. So I thought this was just a really, really cool, really beautiful entrance. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna play because WWE has been really going all out for this group. They have been putting up the QR codes. They've been, having like these secretive messages up. They've really been promoting this
Yeah.
group. So hopefully we get to see them play out in like a really, really cool way. I want to say somebody asked them if there was going to be like any supernatural elements, like kind of like the Undertaker, and they're like, no, because like it would be hard to wrestle a ghost.
Oh,
So
I see.
so you have to like be a little more grounded with these characters. But I'm really, really excited. They looked so cool. I was a little scared, and that's how I know that it was gonna be good.
Yes, I agree, Rest Friend. I agree. And it was very nice to see Eric Rowan back. Um, when you really think about it, it's so sad that two out of them are not here anymore. So I can't imagine how he felt too doing that whole thing. It must have been emotional for all of them, obviously, right? But it was very nice to see Eric Rowan back into a character that he that he had already done before with his other boys that are unfortunately not here anymore.
Yeah. It's talking about Eric Rowan. I think somebody on Twitter, I know it's called X now, guys, but I'm never gonna call it that. I'm gonna call it Twitter.
Never.
They had noticed something about like the back of his mask before he turned around. It was like the old Brody mask. So they're like, "Oh, it's so nice that he incorporated that because, like you said, like his brothers are not there anymore." So
Yeah.
it was a nice tribute to him, and I thought this was really great to see. So moving on to Ethan Page, restaurant in NXT. We're gonna recap WWE first, guys, because we have not talked about WWE in forever. Okay. It's
Yeah.
been so long.
Yeah. Guilty.
So Ethan Page has made his debut on NXT, and now he's main eventing restaurant. Big picture guy. I'm so excited, so glad to see him like this because
Me
we
too.
missed him in AEW. We saw what
Yep.
he did on Impact, and we're like, okay, great. We're gonna get a little bit more of that in AEW. And then he was with Scorpio Sky for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna start getting pushed, and it just seemed like he was not to say not important, but the focus wasn't on him. And
Yeah.
he's a star. So I'm really, really glad that at NXT he's getting these big opportunities. And he went straight to the top for Trick Williams. And he got his contract signed. Ava was like, I'm not signing these terms. This is too much. And he's like, you're signing it. Like, he's like, I don't care what these people have to say. Best friend, I'm here for this character. Ethan Page. And shout out to you because you were the one who actually put me on Ethan Page. So thank you, best friend.
Oh, that's so cute. I mean, till this day, I don't even know what happened to his Patreon, to be honest with you. I don't think it's charging me anymore. Is it not a thing, to be honest with you? But like I've always been I don't know, ever since the beginning, like I just saw the potential in Ethan Page. He's so charismatic and just a great person. So I'm like, this guy deserves to to be on top, because like you said, what we saw from TNA,
Mhm.
yeah, I was very disappointed that we didn't get to see much from him in AEW. But it's so refreshing and nice to see him in NXT. And like you said, main eventing, like you just got there and you're okay, Ethan Page.
Yes. He's being a smarticle particle with that one. That in his contract that he was getting a championship opportunity at Battleground, which was the latest pay-per-view, which was a great pay-per-view. Don't know if you watched it. 10 out of 10 pay-per-view. I thought it was.
No, I didn't.
But he had a really good match with Trick Williams, Wrestfriend. He
Okay.
really showed up and showed out. So good for him. I'm excited
Yes.
that he's getting to do this. And the crowd was booing him, Wrestfriend, when he was signing his contract against Trick. First of all, rude. How dare you? You can never get me to boo Ethan. Same thing, like you can never get me to boo the Young Bucks. Once I love you, it's really hard for me to hate you. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's
It's that real genuine love for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now that Ethan's there, they had some really, really fun moments. So Cody was also backstage, and then he got to be with Sean Spears and with Brian Pillman Jr. And it was just like, oh my God, this was really, really cool. Like the fact that they were all four together, I was like, that made me pop. So first of all, when you saw this image, what did you think?
Honestly, it's crazy that we're even at a time where, okay, first of all, Cody and Dillinger, is that his name again? Dillinger?
I don't know. I said
Shit,
Sean
I didn't do my research.
it's high. I told my dad, I'm like, my dad, the only way that I got him to know, I'm like, perfect 10. That's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh
a
my God, horrible. Okay, anyway, okay. The fact that we're at a time where they were already in WWE before, and
yeah.
then AEW started, so they were in AEW, now they're back in WWE and they're having such a moment. It's crazy to think about that. Like they're having this moment because there's another company and there's another wrestling company that's WWE's competition. And I don't know. So that moment was really, really crazy to think about.
Yeah. And NXT is just they're just doing so many good things. The NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez recently got to fight Jordan Grace from TNA,
Mm-hmm.
and this was genuinely insane because Jordan Grace comes out. She's got the Knockouts Championship. Why is Joe Henry there? Joe Henry, it's not your time yet, sir.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
That was not it was not time for his slide yet. Oh, okay. Sorry. Going back going back to the match. So Jordan comes out, she's got her Knockouts Championship. And this isn't the first time that we've seen TNA in wrestling. Well, I guess it was Impact before, right?
Yeah.
And Mickey James had come out in the Women's Rumble and she had the championship. And we're like, oh my goodness. But this match that they had at Battleground was phenomenal. In the first 3 minutes, I want to say, Jordan was bleeding from her ear because her earring got stuck on Roxanne's leggings, on her like mesh leggings, and it like ripped the earring out of her ear. And I get
Ouch.
genuinely insane. I would be so pissed off for the rest of the match if I was like, oh my God, my earring's gone. And Jordan, I guess she talked to Sean about that. I think she was like, I was so pissed. I was so pissed that happened because it's something that you don't account for. But again, these things do tend to happen. I always think back to any match that like Jeff Hardy has had, and I want to say it was like Jeff against Randy Orton, where Jeff had like some type of like a gauge or he had
Oh,
like the big like the big earrings, like the stretched out ones, and then he like pulled them or some stuff like that.
the gauge. Yeah.
And I said, "This is not it." What? Because like
No,
I have really sensitive ears, so when I put earrings on, and it's like even just to sleep when asbestos, I'm like, all right, I gotta take this off because this is not it.
it's
So
because that's a fear for sure.
like ripping off, genuinely cannot do it. But this match was really really cool, and now we're like, oh my God, is there a partnership going on? What's happening? Fast forward to TNA Against All Odds. Jordan has an open challenge, and Tatum Paxley shows up, and she's from NXT. So now we have it in writing or like on paper and on actual pay per view that these brands are working together. So I was like, oh my goodness, this just opens up Pandora's box. It really does. And any
Oh,
active wrestler can just show up.
yes, that's so true. So, by the way, Sergio said that he twisted it with a screwdriver. He used a screwdriver.
Oh, I remember that. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Hmm. The flashbacks.
The
The
flashbacks.
flashbacks. It's it's insane. I crazy,
No,
crazy,
and
crazy.
it's because like when you mentioned that, that's so funny, restaurant. Because going a little off topic, I
Mhm.
was thinking how for Lollapalooza, because we're going to Lollapalooza.
Yes.
I was thinking how for Lollapalooza, I was like thinking about my outfit, right? And I'm like, I should wear my hoop earrings. And then I was like, wait a minute, do I want to wear my hoop earrings where I'm going to be in a crowd? And you just never know if people accidentally get stuck. Because I wear big hoop earrings,
Yeah.
you know? So it's so funny that you bring that up because it really is a genuine fear to like just get your ear ripped off. But anyway, restaurant, sorry, I can't
No,
stop thinking about that.
it's we have to be prepared. We have to I'm th- and I hope her ear like heals. I don't know if
Right,
it's exactly like ripped off or if it was just like pulled off.
right.
Because if it's ripped off, I'm so sorry, girl. I know that shit hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing with TNA, moving on to the main event. Before we got on Restaurant to record this, I genuinely said we played ourselves
Yeah,
because
you did.
Jeff appeared. Shout out to John Coda who's watching with us right now. Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry. Yes, that's why that slide popped up. Like craziness. And he's also in this picture. So Jeff Hardy came back, Rest Friend, and he's now
Mm-hmm.
with his brother Matt. They're not signed to TNA. They're still free agents, meaning they could go anywhere. But now I'm thinking, all right, this is the perfect time to do stuff in TNA and finish up your careers in WWE. That's what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think I I know that TNA is like that one place where they really have a lot of creative freedom. So I can see Matt being there for a while, especially seeing Rebby. Like,
Mhm.
after seeing Rebby in action, I was like, I'm sure this is something she's been wanting to do, but I don't know, maybe AEW didn't allow it. I don't know. But seeing her do it in TNA, I was like, well, obviously the creative freedom there they have is, you know, what's it called? Like they have a lot of creative freedom. But I am selfish, and of course, I want them to go to WWE and like, you know, do some more iconic things there before they're done. But yeah, restaurant. I don't know. Do you? I know you said that you want them to go back to WWE, but do you think that there's a potential of them staying in TNA for a long time?
I want to say maybe they'll enjoy being free agents. I just my heart, I want them to go to WWE. I want them to have one more run as the champions and then go into the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
immediately. Like going
Yes,
into
I
the Hall of
agree.
Fame immediately so they can get their flowers. Because the way time is working, it's like I'm not for it. Like I need people to get their flowers right now. I know Rey Mysterio was so adamant of like, oh, I forget exactly like what he said in his speech, but it was just so nice to see him get appreciated. And I would like everyone else who is inducted to be able to feel that appreciation and to get that love back from the fans. And the Hardy Boys are just so beloved by everyone. They became real household names. Like everyone knows who Jeff Hardy is. Everyone knows the Hardy Boys.
Yep.
So I do want them to do stuff in TNA because they do have so much creative freedom. But I know that Triple H and Shawn Michaels as a tag team will be able to give them a proper send off when they do go back to WWE. So
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
excited for
Uh,
that.
and like you said, I mean the way time flies, and then not only that, but in wrestling, like time in wrestling is so different with their bodies being beat up, you know, all these years. It's crazy and amazing that we even still have Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy in action. Like we're so lucky, we're so blessed. And that's just as us as fans, you know. I hope they're good. I hope they're healthy. I hope they're not in too much pain. I
Yeah.
hope they have a good run in them still, because yes, selfishly I also would love to see them back in WWE and just do, like I said, do a couple more iconic things before they're done and that we're able to see them at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Give me one more good ladder match. I'm set. I'm set with Jeff and Matt. I don't need anything. I don't need even anything crazy on for
Yeah.
the match from them. So, oh my goodness.
I
Yeah.
just I want what's happening, even though I know Adam Copeland is injured right now, and I hope he has a very speedy and good recovery. But I want what's going on with Adam Copeland and Christian, how they're having such an amazing AEW run. I want the same thing for the Hardys. I want them to have a one last good run.
And even if it's just Jeff going to WWE right now, because I feel like that's where he would lean a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, give him his old theme song back. What was it called? Right, it was like, don't you see the writing on the walls? What is it? You
I
know
don't
what?
know the name restaurant, but I know what you're talking about. Of course.
Yeah, that one. That's
Yeah.
I loved that song for him, and he could be in a rumble. Like you don't have to really dedicate yourself to WWE if you have more people working together. So yes, no more words. Literally,
Oh, no more words.
okay. Shout out to Lucha Outsiders. Mario,
Hi,
love
Mario.
you. Love you. 10 out of 10, guys. He says, miss ya. John Coda says he just appeared a little too early. Yeah, okay, see, yeah, Joe Hendry. I'm telling you, say his name and he appears. Mario saying the Hardys will return to WWE when they get inducted for the Hall of Fame. Maybe have a final match at Mania. I would love to see them one more good time at Mania. Do you remember that pop that they got at that most recent WrestleMania where they were at, where like the New Day were hosting, and they're like, I wonder who
Yes.
going to be, and I just
that that video that still makes all of us like get goosebumps. Like it still gives me the chills every single time I watch it. It's the best. One of the best moments of wrestling for sure.
Yeah, and I remember Corey Graves like commenting like, "Oh my God, Jeff and Matt, they helped innovate the ladder match, make it what it is today." And I'm just like, "Oh my God!" Like genuine chills, amazing, amazing. Shout outs to Mimi. Good morning, party people. You good morning, party people.
Good
Thank
morning.
you so early. Shout outs to you.
We
And Troy says, "Oh my God, I didn't know you guys were going to be live. Hello."
didn't either, Troy.
Either.
No makeup, everything.
We got our drinks, and then we're here. We're good to go. Yeah.
Before we got on, I was kind of crying to Edie because I was sweating. My cat had thrown up. I was like, I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry, restaurant, but we're here now.
Yes. No more
So
words.
thank you guys.
Love that song. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. John is saying, I hope the Hardys are able to retire in good health. They've been through so much. Genuinely, they really have.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said,
They've done so much for us.
yeah, they really have. They've put their body through countless things. Just for what? For what?
Literally.
We talk about Darby Allin now. Darby Allin was the Hardys, was Jeff Hardy genuinely 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Doing crazy shit. And now we've seen what has come of that, right? Of that craziness and of that continuing to perform on that level and kind of where Jeff and Matt are now. We've seen how their bodies have changed.
Yeah.
So I would hope that they get home every day, put on some Vaporu, put on some icy hot everywhere, put a little maquinita de massage on.
Do a little salt bath.
Something, yes, every single day.
Every single day.
Because they
But rest friend, they're men. Come on.
they're going to be ashy all day. They don't have air conditioner on.
Do they even moisturize?
Probably not. What a mess. What a mess. But the fact that Jeff and Matt are like free agents, technically, I'm thinking about, and that, that they're working with, TNA is working with NXT. I'm thinking of like all of the possibilities that could happen. Like, could you imagine what a Royal Rumble would really look like now?
Oh my gosh.
With
I
the addition
agree.
of guys from TNA? Like, again, Joe Hendry's in this picture. We can get Joe Hendry. We can get Nick Nemeth back, him and his brother. Jeff Hardy could appear. Sammy Callahan could appear.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Jake something, a Mike Bailey. Could you imagine a Mike Bailey in a Royal Rumble? That shit would be insane.
Yeah. That's so true. That would be very insane.
And incredible.
And like Sergio did mention in the beginning, like how cool would it be if McIntyre did show up in TNA, just for the storyline?
That would be crazy.
Like, please do something crazy like that.
That's too crazy, restaurant. Maybe a little too crazy.
Just for the story. Like, why not? You
For the
know?
plot. For the plot.
Exactly.
He's gonna be there for like a week.
For the
Well,
novela. Give us a novela.
we're recording this right now. It's Friday morning. Friday Night SmackDown is in Chicago. We're not going, but CM Punk is said to be there. I'm thinking Drew McIntyre shows up and ruins his day.
I hope so. Wait, I thought that was next week. That's tonight here?
Hmm?
Oh my gosh, I thought that was next week.
Yeah, no, it's tonight.
Oh, well, too late.
I was looking at tickets yesterday and I'm like, this is still not reasonable.
Are they expensive?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's can't even do it. But now is a great time to talk about Joe Hendry. Wrestfriend, do you know the song? Do you know it?
No. I'm gonna sit back and let you talk about this because I have no clue who this man is. I'm sorry. I have zero clue. Sincerely.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Wrestfriend, stop it. Okay, so he's got a song and it goes, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And everybody claps. They go, ah, ah. And then he goes, I believe in Joe Hendry. And then he goes, you I'm in London and Paris and Tokyo. What's the other one? Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. And everybody claps for us, friend. And that shit is so lit. Okay. So on TikTok, everybody was like, oh my God, this guy's hilarious, Joe Hendry, because his theme is like him turning around saying, I believe in Joe Hendry. And he's like, all right, guys, let's get this song on the charts. Everybody got the song, his theme song, trending in the UK charts, Wrestfriend.
What? Yes, oh my God.
Everybody was believing in Joe Hendry. And that's the thing. You say his name and he appears. So people will be on TNA. You say his name one time. Next thing you know, he shows up and you're like, what is going on here? He is like the Orange Cassidy times 10.
Times 10. Okay, so I saw a clip of him coming out and his smile alone, Wrestfriend. I was like, I can't with this. I cannot.
Yes, Wrestfriend. That's it. That's the vibe. That's Joe Hendry. And he's a good wrestler and he's funny.
Okay, I respect that.
Triple threat.
I guess I could respect that. The gimmick I'm still not very sure about. I'm hoping not to become his number one hater. No, but I'm not very sure.
To love him.
Okay.
I promise you're going to love him because you're going to be like, this guy is ridiculous. I live for it in like the best way. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. But so he comes out in NXT, right? And every week people had been like having like signs that say Joe Hendry or I believe in Joe Hendry. And now he appeared and everybody was like, oh my God. And NXT, the crowd knew every single one of his lyrics of the song and they knew it. They got it. And I'm hoping that we get to see more of him because he was so well received.
Yeah.
So he got eliminated the first one. But my dad knew it because he's like, oh, he didn't know who Joe Hendry was either. But he's like, oh, this guy's talking like he's got a big game. Watch, he's gonna be the first one eliminated. Joe Hendry gets in there, his friend. Everybody teams up on him and they toss him out. And then he goes backstage and he talks shit to Shawn Michaels. He's like, this is your idea? This was your idea to have all these NXT guys team up against the TNA guy? Mind you, Frankie Kazarian was also in that. But like I feel like nobody's talking about that.
Frankie Kazarian?
Yes, Frankie Kazarian was in that Rumble or the over the top, the Battle Royal, I think it was called.
Yeah, no one was talking about that because I had no idea. Yeah,
so what? Also in there, and nobody's talking about it because everybody was like, oh,
Joe Hendry.
I'm gonna do some TikToks, Wrestfriend. Of
please, like, because
done. Insane. For a long time, I got him. I'm famous for getting wrestlers confused. Okay,
right? So you are.
I was confusing him with Anthony Henry.
Oh, I don't know.
Time. So Anthony Henry is part of the Workhorsemen with JD Drake.
Okay.
So I was confusing that, and it's probably the Hendry that was like, okay, I guess same. I confuse wrestlers, just friend.
You do. It's cute.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you think. And watch me meet what is it? Motor City Machine Gun and be like, Machine Gun City. Hey guys. They're gonna be like, what the
It's
fuck?
so cute. I remember when you would ask me which Young Buck was who, like who's Nick and who's Matt. I thought it was the cutest thing ever, restaurant, because they look so different to me. But you're like, I can't tell right now.
Best friend, and that fucking shit took me forever to find out. I could not for the life of me figure out which one. And now looking back at it, I'm just like, I could never confuse them. I could never. And even when the Bella twins first came out, I had a hard time like with the Bella twins. And now looking back at it, I was like, I know exactly which one is which, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it was just funny that I guess because I was like, okay, there's no way that these guys are like the Hardy Boys because Jeff and Matt don't look anything alike. These guys look everything alike.
That's how you felt in the beginning.
Yes, yes. But now I know. So my progress as a wrestling fan, honestly, exponential.
Honestly, restaurant. I mean, all of us, of course. At least you and I, we've always had that similarity, especially like when we started watching wrestling together. We didn't know a lot of the things that were going on, and we just started learning together
Yeah.
from each other too. Because you've also taught me a lot.
Restaurant, you've taught me a lot. And shout outs to Restaurant Sergio.
Oh, Sergio. I mean, I feel like most of my knowledge now is because of Sergio.
Yeah. John Coda saying, I believe in Joe Hendry. Lucha Outsiders, he's like the butler from Mr. Deeds that just pops up out of nowhere when you say his name.
You see, this is why I have to look him up before I start saying his name too much and he pops up or some shit. Like, I need to know who this man is.
Troy says, TBH, I thought his thing was he was some politician pretending to run for office. It could be, honestly, Troy. I don't watch TNA. I watch,
mean,
how I know of him is through TikTok. And
oh, interesting.
reacting to him. So I have yet to see a Joe Hendry match.
Okay.
It's insane. And I'm so for him.
But you know the song already.
Friend,
You
I'm ready.
are amazing.
I added it to my Spotify. Rest friend, I was trying to get this guy on the charts, okay?
Fun fact, Wrestfriends. This is one thing I've always known about Edie, because as you guys know, we're primas. We've known each other since we were very small. And one thing I've always admired about Edie, even though she's younger than me, I've always looked up to her because she memorizes songs so fast. There are so many songs, so many songs that I've known before Edie, but that every time I hear, I think of Edie, because we would be so little and she would be just like singing every song to the movies we would watch. Sometimes the script, it's like if she was in the movie reading the script and she would know Charlie's Angels Restaurant. That's my perfect example.
My
we
mom
would watch
and dad are so like anytime we watch Charlie's Angels, they're like at word for word, I knew exactly what the fuck was going on. And that's why
yes.
you're watching movies with me. But I get it from my dad.
Oh, do you?
Yes, because he does not the whole movie, he'll tell you exactly, or like he's translating, he's asking questions, or if he's already seen it, he'll let you know because he's reciting the lines. So I get it from him.
Oh, that is so fucking cute.
John says, then a kick-ass guitar solo with everyone waving their hands side to side. Such a great entrance theme. Literally, it's so good. I can't wait to be at a WWE show where Joe Hendry pops up. I'm
oh god.
very interested.
I love that.
Restaurant, who's your favorite wrestler?
Oh man, that's a very hard question. You know what? I'm just gonna say the first person that popped into my head when I read that, Hangman.
Period. Oh my gosh, favorite wrestler. My favorite wrestler right now.
That's my ult. That's my ultimate favorite. That's my top.
That's the default. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess right now I'm in between Takeshita and Zack Sabre Jr. Probably Takeshita because I'm seeing Takeshita more.
Sorry, everyone just had to look at my pores and everything. But wait a minute. What?
As of this question right now, as of today.
Yeah.
Yes. When Yuta came back on Wednesday, it was Yuta. Okay. I'm just. This was just it. Now I just recently watched Dynamite and I saw Takeshita. Zack Sabre Jr. had a match, so I was like, all right, Takeshita, Zack Sabre Jr. Probably by Monday it'll be Takeshita again. Who knows? You know.
it rotates.
It's a
They all
rotate.
take turns.
Yes. Troy says that everything I learned about AEW besides Mercedes is literally from you guys. Troy, love
I
you.
feel like a mom. Is this what being a mom is like? An
Teaching.
Auntie Teddy.
Yes. Your dad is the best. What a great guy. I'm gonna
I
screenshot
agree.
that, send it to my dad. he's gonna have a he's gonna have a
He
panic.
is he is a great guy. I love him.
Shout outs to him. Troy, where's Hangman right now? Good question. So Fightful has reported that Hangman is set to return. Not sure when. Maybe it'll be at the pay-per-view at Forbidden Door. I think that would be a good place for him to come out. But I want to say he's good to go. They're ready for him to come back. They just don't have a specific day for him. And I wonder where they would put him because Swerve Strickland is having a match with Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, and recently Will and him had a really, really cool encounter. I thought their promos was really, really good because I don't know. I think you saw it, Wrestfriend, that Will was like Osprey
Yeah.
was like, oh, while you had a hit row, I had a hit list, and I didn't miss a single one. Like that to me. I was like, oh my god. I was like, let me pause this, go get some water, and come back. This is good. This is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Which
I agree. I don't know where Hangman is.
he's ready
I
though. He's
I
ready.
hope he yeah, I mean they said early July, right? So I'm really hoping, really hoping we get to see him at the Chicago show because that's July 3rd. But I'm not gonna be expecting anything because I don't want to be sad if he doesn't come out.
Yeah.
But I do wonder where what he's gonna do when he comes back. For me, I would love for him to come back and go back to his feud with Swerve.
Yeah.
And because obviously in my heart, I would love to see the championship on him again. I just don't think that I just feel like Hangman needs to hold that championship at least one more time. I did not like the way that the championship was taken from him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't like that whole storyline. But then also, it would be very nice to see him come back and either be working against or with the elite. Just that would be very interesting. But yeah, Rich friend, who freaking knows? I'm just excited. I'm really excited for him to come back. He's like the reason that I watch wrestling anyway.
Period.
Now, that's the only reason I'll tune in. No, I'm just kidding. I've been watching, and honestly, wrestling right now is for me. It's getting back up there. Like it's very interesting again. I like the storyline. So
It's gonna be good. And I brought up Yuta, so let's talk about Wheeler Yuta. First friend, he's back. I'm so
yes,
excited. Yuta made his return on Dynamite, and I was just like there was a little bit of peace in my heart and in my head because I'm like, all right, great. He's back. I was really, really worried because in Philadelphia for the Ring of Honor match, for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, I was like, there's not even a promo that says he's champion. Like, he didn't come out. It was his hometown. What's going on? Like, how bad is the injury? But now he's back. And then he had an interview backstage where he was talking about how he was suffering headaches and dizziness at home. And he's like, it was tough seeing that championship on the bottom of my TV, when I would watch wrestling every week and going to the gym and just getting dizzy and just it really was how do you remember when Adam Cole got his concussions and he was like talking about what he was going through? Very similar experiences that Yuta was having. So I'm glad that he's back. He looks like he's having a great time. Every time he does take a hit though, I get worried. It's like when Nikki came back and she was at the Rumble and Asuka had her over the top rope by the neck. I was like, oh my God, please don't do this. Like, no, we cannot have this. Like, you just got injured. Like you've been recovered. So please be safe. But honestly, BCC's backrest friend, they look at them, besties. Him and Claudio, like Claudio is his dad. With the
it's
dad jokes that Claudio gives, vibe with them.
that's so true. You're right. I forgot about that. We actually got to wait. Was it at the AW softball game that you were at where Claudio was on the mic for a while? Or was
No,
that the one you didn't go to?
that was the one you went to, and then I got
Oh,
the dad joke at FanFest. Oh,
oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
he was really funny. I think, I mean, I know they're not, this is not what they want to be called, but I think they're so cute. I think the BCC are so cute. I saw when I think Renee posted a picture of her in Max's gym, or hers and Max's gym, and Max has a frame with a picture of them at his gym, and I thought that was the cutest thing ever.
Best friend. I know they want to be hardcore and they want to
Yeah,
be bloody and they want to be violent, but I look at them and I'm just like,
you guys are so
like,
cute.
adorable. Like I love you guys. And I'm just so glad that he's back. And back to talking about Hangman, I feel like he's ready, and I want to say that he would go back to his feud with Swerve, like you said. But I was like, okay, well, right now Swerve is feuding with Will Ospreay. Where's that going to leave Swerve afterwards? After he fights Will, I'm sure he's going to retain his championship, and I want to say that would be a great time for Hangman to come out
I
and
agree.
start that feud.
I
That's
agree. Especially because, I mean, going back to their feud, Swerve broke into Hangman's house and then was talking to his baby.
that's
Or he was in his baby's room. We saw the whole crib and everything. So, I mean, you would think that Hangman is gonna come back angry as fuck still, because I'd be pissed.
yeah. Miriam says, I never know what's going on. Shout out to Wrestfriends. Same.
We never know what's going on either.
John Coda says Hendry has loads of hilarious parody entrance themes too. There's more? Oh my god. I'm gonna
Oh,
go down a rabbit hole today. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that promo was really good on Wednesday between Will Ospreay and Swerve. MJF and Will Ospreay is my favorite wrestler. All right, yeah, in between MJF, I see MJF. I feel like with his mic skills, people forget what he can do as a wrestler, and he's a
yeah.
wrestler. But then you put him up against Will Ospreay. I'm always gonna pick Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay is a fantastic wrestler.
Do you remember us wanting to hate Will Ospreay so bad? Like, we wanted to hate him for real. Like, we're just being honest. We really did not want to like him.
Mhm.
And just his wrestling and that freaking charisma he brings out into the ring and on the
He has
mic.
me giggling. He has me giggling.
He
He's really proved me wrong, but mostly because like I didn't watch him when he was in New Japan. I didn't watch the feuds that he had with some of the biggest names over there. So when he arrived to AEW and he's being silly, goofy mood, and he's being a great wrestler, you're just like, well, damn, you keep putting on banger after banger. You're
yeah.
funny. He's really well spoken for being so young. He's really great, like media trained wise, fantastic all around. So it's hard for me to be like, yeah, I don't like this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I have been seeing him. I saw him in New Japan for a while. I just feel like seeing Osprey here in America and in AW, like the things that he talks about to me are just different. He's
Mhm.
definitely more out there for me. And which makes sense, right? In New Japan, I mean, there's a language barrier. And here, like, you know, what's it called? It's just, I'm sure it's easier for him to like talk about the things that he talks about. So whatever he comes up with, it's either funny, entertaining, or just
It's relatable, like on a person.
relatable. Yes, exactly.
Mhm. And it's crazy because like I believe him in like the way that he talks and like compared to a lot of other people who are on cutting promos and in the on the mic. So Hangman probably the fifth guy for the elites at Blood and Guts, best friend.
You know what?
And you think he's gonna join the elite?
That would be awesome.
They already got a white boy with curly hair on there in Jack Perry. You gonna have two? Who knows? Who?
I mean, who else could they have, right? And it would just make sense. It would make sense.
It would make sense. Your stream is very entertaining. Thank you so much.
Thank you, little s'mores, little s'mores.
Will Osprey, bruv. I love how he says bruv. That literally cracks me up. Troy says, speaking of silly goofy, Okada number one.
Oh my gosh, you are so right. Okada has been cracking me up, and all he has to say is one word.
When he was pressing all those buttons, he like that's literally what happens when I accidentally delete something off my computer. I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like clicking, clacking, typing away. I was like, I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. And you know,
The shut up bitch.
he's proving all the people wrong who said there was going to be so much like of a language barrier that you were not going to be able to make a connection with Okada. And look at where we are.
I mean, clearly people don't know what they're talking about. We for a very long time before AEW even existed, we had seen his the way that him and the Young Bucks get along. Like, come on.
Yeah, they got to be so serious. Before we log off, first friend, talk to me about what's happening in New Japan, because let me tell you, everybody was sending me to catch the schedule. Okay.
Yes, I mean that's the first thing I thought about was you. I send you a message. I'm like I'm gonna bring this up for you. Even though I know we have restaurants that watch New Japan. I have to catch up. I was just telling you before we started this. It sucks because I wake up and I mean, obviously here in America, we wake up to what happened in New Japan overnight. Yeah. But I sent you a message because Takeshita was announced for the G1 Climax. He's in the B block, and he's also gonna have the opening match against. Sorry, I forgot his how to pronounce his name. Suji. He's gonna have his match against Suji for the opening night, and I needed to bring that up to you, restaurant, because you love Takeshita. It's really cool to see Takeshita there as an AEW star. And yeah, this is very exciting for the New Japan fans. Naito against Shingo Takagi, like really cool. Lij against Lij, crazy. But
Oh my God, not the
I
factions fighting within.
yes, I'll be watching it, restaurant. I'll be catching up, and I'll be messaging you, letting you know what's going on. Hopefully, Takeshita stays on there.
I might have to watch these. I might have to get up at 4 in the morning to watch what's going on, because I love Takeshita so much. I think that he needs to get back to the point that he was when he was having matches against Hangman, when he was having matches against Kenny Omega. Like, you looked at him and you're like, this guy is at the top right now. He's really at the top of Dynamite. And I feel like once he got into the Don Callis family, kind of just like he was put to the back,
Yeah.
which I'm like, this is so unfortunate. Takeshita, you should not be there. And then once he started doing his nails, restaurant, I said, this is a star. This is a
Yes.
star.
Yes, he is.
And he's not being shown as a star. So I'm hoping that he has a really, really great showing in this G1 Climax. So I'm excited.
Yes, me too. It's very exciting to see him. We're going to be able to see him in a New Japan ring against Suji. Sergio said he's rooting for Suji, restaurant.
Sergio, okay. I feel like this is not new for Sergio. I feel
so
like
rude.
he, first of all, yes, rude in the morning. I
in the morning.
watch. He's probably texting. They're probably texting Mario right now, and Mario's like, "I agree. I'm also not going for Takeshita in this match."
You're so funny. You think they're against you right now?
Yes, it's a conspiracy.
At this point.
Troy says, "I'll be rooting for my English bestie, Zack Sabre Jr."
Aww.
Zack Sabre Jr. is just like no other, TBH. No other. He's
Yeah,
so
I agree.
funny. He, like, even his entrance restaurant, I just realized it the other day that he's got like little vinyl records. And I'm just like, oh my God, like that is so cool. Like, I was like, I love music, you love music, so much in common.
I think between you, Troy, and I, we're just gonna be passing around Zack Sabre Jr. for bestie, like bestie for the week. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here,
Oh, he's with Troy this week. All right, yeah.
He's with Troy this week. I'll be like, okay, it's your turn, Troy. Send them back this way next week.
Yes. Guys, before we log off, write in the comments, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you guys want us to quickly
What do you want us to talk about?
What do you want to know? What's the vibe? But man, wrestling is just in such a different place right now, especially with all of these different promotions that are working together. We're getting Forbidden
Yes.
Door, and they're working with AAA. Hechicero's having a match with MJF. I can't wait for the entrances on that one. Hechicero's insane.
I can't wait for the match. I just hope MJF doesn't talk, because look, I love MJF in his promo sometimes, right? But sometimes he doesn't know when to not say something. So I don't when Rush came out and he was talking shit to Rush, I'm like, MJF, shut the fuck up. Yeah. He had the crowd chanting what, which pissed me off. But anyway. I did not know that, Troy. I did not know that. You need to send me the link because now when I meet him, I'm gonna have to ask him who his bias is.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's so cool.
Zack Sabre. I wonder what kind of K-pop. Troy, he's got the scoops on Zack Sabre Jr. Okay.
I know. Yeah, because I had no idea he did.
All right, Wrist friend. Before we head out, what's your dream match that you want to see? For me, now that Jeff and Matt are back, I've always wanted to see this. I want Jeff and Matt to have one more match against Edge and Christian. I think that's the match that maybe needs to be both of their retirements or all
Okay.
four of their retirement. I think that would be really, really great. John Cena says that he's still waiting to um I think he's got like one more match before he like wants to retire. And I think the perfect person to do that would be Edge, but then Edge would need to be in WWE because the history that John Cena
You're
has
so right.
is like, oh, I hated Edge so much, Russ friend.
No, that feud was chef's kiss, like
It was so
for real.
perfect. And it either needs to be the person who retires Cena is either Edge or it needs to be Randy. Like
Yeah.
those feuds were so iconic. That's what I want to see. But Russ friend, what about you?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That's a very, very, very hard question. Um, I have a lot of dream matches.
Mm-hmm.
At the top of my head, I've never been able to get over one time at C2E2 for I forgot what year it was. Hangman was here, right?
Yeah.
And at a panel, he mentioned that he would love to have a match against Shingo, my Dio Shingo. I call him Dio, by the way, everyone. He would love to have a match against Shingo, and I haven't been able to get that out of my head. I too would love to see that. So I guess that's one of my dream matches.
Yeah.
Hangman versus Shingo Takagi.
That would be great. That genuinely would be great.
Mm-hmm.
John Coda says, thank you for the wrestling recap and discussion. I'm a bit of a casual wrestling watcher nowadays, so this is great. I actually thought Drew Galloway was all elite at the start. I'm telling you, that whoever made that looks real. Looks 10 out of 10.
Oh, thank you so much for watching us, though.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. We have a great time here. We genuinely do. And we thank you guys for participating and for joining us. It's genuinely one of the greatest joys that we have people interacting with us talking about wrestling. And I want to let you guys know that you can subscribe to us on YouTube so you never miss a live stream, so you never miss a vlog. Genuinely anything that we have that's wrestling related, we put up here on YouTube. And I'm going to promote some stuff that we have. So I just did an interview last week with Mustafa Ali, who is the TNA X Division champion. He was so great, said the most beautiful things about his family, Rest Friend. Little sneak peek. I genuinely, when he was like, oh, the way I like to talk about my wife is I like to say, I'm Superman because when she wraps her arms around me, she is the cape and I can fly. Best friend, I literally tears in my eyes. I was like, I can't cry. Can't cry in this interview. That man is
yeah, honestly, for a man to speak that way of their wife, like what a great man.
So beautiful. So I have that interview that's up on YouTube right now, guys. Check it out. And also, I also interviewed Sky Blue and Kyle Fletcher. And they were so stinking cute. So stinking
It
cute.
was such a cute interview too.
And I had a great time. It's one of my favorite interviews. So watch that now. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you go and do it. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I want to say we're only like 60 or 70 subscribers away, Rest Friend. So we're literally right there. I'm so excited. And every day I log in and I'm like, all right, do we have one more? Do we have two more? Did anybody comment? So leave your interactions, guys, likes, thumbs up, comments. Anything genuinely helps boost this video. It helps get our faces out there and it helps us to create more content. So that's what I got to say, Rest Friend. What do you have for the wonderful Rest Friends where they can follow us on social media?
Oh, I was like, Restaurant, I have nothing. You already said everything. But you guys, we are on Twitter. But if you don't know it as Twitter X, I guess. But we are on Twitter, Instagram. We have our link tree on our bios on Twitter and Instagram, which is like the easiest place to go to. And you can find all of our content there. Our YouTube link, which is where you can go and watch Edie's interviews with these amazing wrestlers. We have our links for anything Rest Friend related, pretty much. So anything you guys want Rest Friend related, just go on our Twitter and our Instagram.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely appreciate you. We've had a blast. And yeah, I'm really glad that everyone was able to join us today. So thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you.